Hey guys, what's going on today? Bojo here, and I know this might be a little bit outdated for some of you guys, but I had some computer issues the past couple of weeks, and I'll be sure to explain that in a different video. But I'm going to continue along of where I left off before I had those computer issues, and I was about to release my NHL 17 Vision trailer breakdown video for you guys, and obviously all the crazy stuff went down. But I had pretty much everything completed before that happened, and I'm picking up right where I left off. So we got our first trailer for NHL 17, saw some pretty unique things in there that a lot of you guys might find interesting. And we got a trailer, we got a lot of screenshots, and that's exactly what I'm going to be doing in this trailer video for you guys, is reviewing what we saw. So first off, I'm going to play the trailer for you guys if you haven't seen so already. If you want to check it out for yourselves, link is in the description as always. But we're going to take a look at the trailer, and then we're going to go over some of the screenshots and things like that we saw in the trailer and go into them more depthly. So here you go, guys. The NHL 17 Vision trailer.
Legacies aren't shaped overnight. Whether they're built on the ice, behind the bench, or in the front office, no two NHL legacies are the same. And we took that idea to heart when we set out to build NHL 17. From making that clutch save that changes the momentum of the game, to battling for that critical inch in front of the net during the dying seconds, our focus is to make sure we're improving gameplay in all three zones. Through deeper and more customizable experiences in our most popular modes, and by engaging fans across all aspects of development, we're creating new experiences that add up to our biggest and most exciting hockey game to date. Whether it's shaping the future of your franchise, making a splash in international competition, or rewriting the record books, in NHL 17, you'll get to experience the defining moments that only hockey can deliver. No matter if you're challenging a friend on the couch or masterminding a team at the elite levels of competition, with NHL 17, you can shape your hockey legacy where it matters to you.
Alright guys, so like I said, we saw a lot of really cool, interesting things from that Vision trailer. A lot of cool things we can expect to see in NHL 17 come September. So the first thing we're going to look at is the improvements on goalie controls. As you guys saw, there was a lot of new different movements and a lot of new different goaltender stances that we will probably be able to see in NHL 17. As you guys know, they did introduce some new goaltender controls into NHL 16 this year, and while they were fun and it took a little bit of time to get used to them, they were still very, very buggy in the way that the goaltenders moved. A lot of different glitches that we could find, a lot of sticky posts, I guess you could say, sticky posts, sticky movements still locked into some computer animations that you could not find yourself to get rid of. And hopefully they improve upon that for NHL 17, because once you get adjusted to the controls of the goaltender, it's very, very fun to play goaltender, and hopefully we'll be able to get some more unique and interesting stances to act like the goaltenders do in real life, because it seems like they're still going to be using the same stances they did last year, probably still using the Eddie Lack model, and I'm interested to see what they're going to be doing along with the goaltenders for NHL 17. Moving along from that, we got our first looks at some of the different arenas that we might possibly be able to see featured in next year's game, with the option of having customization be a huge factor in some of these arenas. So the first one you guys are seeing is like a little practice facility arena, which actually looks pretty cool. It's very small ranked, but you know, we might be able to see this in maybe Hockey Ultimate Team, GM mode, things of that sort, maybe even EASHL as well for a practice kind of arena and practice mode for EASHL. Moving along, we have a nice little back bar area with some tables, some chairs, stools, and then we also see the EASHL logo underneath all that screens. So that only implies to me that we will be able to definitely put some customization into our arenas in the EASHL, and who knows, we might even be able to see some cool cinematics going along with that, maybe seeing some fans actually inhabiting these areas of our customized arenas. Moving along with that, going along with the EASHL theme, is that it looks like team customization to a certain extent is going to be making its return. We're going to have obviously the same thing we had, I think, in NHL 14 with preset logos and designs, but then we'll also just get our free range of customizing the color schemes, jersey type, the way the jerseys look, all that fun stuff. As you guys can see here on the jersey of that weird looking boar or pig thing with a helmet. Looks pretty nice. The color scheme looks very, very nice. Everything still looks very reminiscent of what the aesthetics look like in NHL 16. So I think it's going to be pretty nice to finally get some customization back in the EASHL, which is definitely going to be a plus. More arena screenshots here. 3 arenas right in a row of the same type of arena, but just like a different layout of the arena. As you guys can see here, this one's more of like your typical NHL arena. And then as we move on to the next one, this one turns into kind of like an oval shape where the seats are obviously circulated in an oval theme rather than the top one where it's kind of all the seats are going downwards. You can see that the stairs are kind of in a straight pattern. And then the final one, you can see it gets opened up more, and especially too as the I guess the top one too, it has a lower top section, while the bottom one has a higher top section. This one has a lower top section where the decal around the part what's the word I'm looking for? Differentiating, that's the word. That's a hard word to say. Differentiating the bottom part from the high part, where the graphics of the that logo or that color scheme going all the way around the arena. So you'll definitely be able to get a lot of, looks like a good bit of customization in arenas this year. I'm very happy about that. Once again, just some more EASHL stuff there. You can post your team logos on the entranceways into the certain seating sections. Obviously, your logo on center ice. And then you could actually just trip it out a little bit more. Add some rally towels, it seems like, to the chairs. When playoff time comes, all the seats will have some rally towels and all that fun stuff. So it looks like EASHL is going to be fun, a little bit more interactive this year. Not only are you going to have to, play well with your teammates, you can spend some time for those guys who like to have an aesthetic pleasing part of certain game modes. They could take the time and go full out, it seems, with certain designs. Hopefully we'll get some more news about that as time goes along. Next up, we have a wild Clapperton at work here. Clappy looks like he's doing no work absolutely, but the thing that we did manage to see here on this picture is apparently something that they had in Madden. I'm not really a big Madden player, so I wasn't really sure what this whole kind of concept was, but it seems like they're taking a page out of Madden's book and introducing sets in this year into I guess Hockey Ultimate Team, it seems, because that's the only one where we have Fiddler, and obviously you guys can see Fiddler right there on the screen. But apparently in sets is like there's certain criteria in Madden where you have to collect a certain amount of cards. It's like collections in a way, but it's like a step further where they have certain different criteria for collecting a set, and if you collect all the set, you get a certain special card, or you get like a trophy or something like that to display. But the one that they're showing off here is like a gold coaches set, where you collect any 10 amount of gold coaches, whether it be the same coach or different coaches, I'm not sure, but once you collect all 10 of them, it seems like you get a gold coaches pack or a gold coaches card or something along those lines. I'm not really sure how it works, but that's going to be interesting for those Hockey Ultimate Team collectors like myself that like to collect a lot of things in Hockey Ultimate Team other than the collections. This will definitely give those players, and hopefully those cards as well, a boost in value, and it'll really strive for those people who like to collect the cards in the game to continue to do so, because that will actually make gold coaches in almost every card this year. If they have a really varied amount of different sets for this year, every single card might actually have a really unique value to it this year, which I actually do like. They always want to try to build the value of, different kinds of cards this year, whether it be having them as lower overalls and then the special cards continuing to rise in value throughout the year. Base cards and, just random coaches or arenas or things like that might get a boost in their price. Next up here, we have our first little preview of the BAGM screen. As you guys can see, the Vancouver Canucks are proudly sported right here. We want to dive a little bit deeper into this little display here. As you guys can see, we have just the typical stuff like the team budget, the player salary budget, things like that. But we go diving in deeper for GM mode this year, and it looks like they're going to be taking a page out of some old game modes whether it be like franchise mode or dynasty mode, because as you guys can see here, arena operations budget, promotions budget, marketing budget, you have owner personalities as well. Do they how often are they spending money? How often or how important of a successful franchise are they? How much time do they have to wait for patience? They have like those 3 categories as star ratings. Obviously your top players, your AHL team, but then it also shows your arena as well, whether how many seats it holds, what the average age, what the arena age of the arena is. So how long has it been, that team's home. And then it also has facility ratings of concessions, team store, your parking lot, and club seats. So it looks like this year GM mode is going to be taking a huge step forward, making the GMs not only just have to concern about the players and how your team is playing, but it looks like they're taking that a step forward in how your entire organization operates as a whole. How are they doing with, are they making money? Are they making money through concessions? Or is their store selling enough, team merchandise? Are their seats too expensive? Are their seats too cheap? How happy is your owner? This looks like a really cool thing for GM mode this year, and I really cannot wait to get started with that. It seems like it's going to be taking a huge step forward, and I'm really excited about that. Integrating so much more into a GM mode now. Don't have to worry about players. Now you worry about the entire day-to-day operation of that hockey club. Very, very cool. Now we get to relocation. Yes, you can relocate your franchise apparently this year in GM mode. Where, say, if you want to take a team like the Arizona Coyotes, you want to move them to Halifax, go ahead. Want to move them to Hamilton? Sure. Hartford? Go ahead. Looks like there's a lot of different options for cities that you can definitely relocate your franchise to. But then as you go into these cities, you can see that what the market size of that city will be, the interest in that team's franchise. So sometimes maybe that city won't even want to take that franchise because they're not really interested in that franchise moving to that city. So you have to maybe find an appropriate city to move your franchise to. Negotiations, obviously, fan engagement, and then the stadium funding interest. A percentage wise of how much the stadium funding is going to bring to your team's franchise. And that has all those different things for each of those 3 different cities that we have shown for you guys. So if you want to take a struggling franchise and move them to a different city, you can probably do that. And same thing goes along with that arena age. Maybe there's a certain time in GM mode where your arena is getting to a point where it's starting to, repairs are costing a little bit too much. It might be time to shut down in that arena and maybe move your team to a different city or just move them to a different arena. And that's where maybe even the customization could come into GM mode. Will we be able to create our own arena for that new team? Who knows? A lot of good options available for 17 for sure. Moving along, we have a new game mode here, the World Cup of Hockey, which will be taking place, I believe, this summer or this fall. As you guys can see here, they have all 8 teams that will be represented: Canada, Finland, Czech Republic, North America, Team Europe, Russia, United States, and Sweden. Now, when I saw this game mode initially, I immediately thought NHL Moments Live or NHL 94 mode. I don't think it'll be anything worth online capacity to it. I feel like it's just going to be a play it once and you're done with it kind of game mode. It's just going to be another game mode in NHL 16 like NHL Moments Live or playoff mode or season mode. Rarely anybody plays those type of game modes in the game. So I feel like it's just going to be another gimmicky type of mode where you might just play it once and kind of be done with it. But the good thing about this mode is you guys can see they do have the team logos for all 8 of those different teams, which only means that EA does have the right probably to all of those jerseys in the game as well. So that'll be nice to see. You can really check out your team for EA SHL or Hockey Ultimate Team. And then moving along here to the end of the trailer, we can see some new celebrations as well. As you saw, Connor McDavid celebrating a little bit of a hat trick there. Saw the hats flying out onto the ice, which might be a little cool new animation there. Bench celebrations, that might be something different. Maybe that's only specific for hat tricks, but who knows? We might be able to get the whole entire bench in the celebration now after you score a goal. And it looks like the bench don't normally just do the stand up and then cheer. It looks like they're interacting with each other on the bench now as well, which looks to be Really, really awesome. You can see Ray Ferraro there in the right-hand side, just looking as smug as ever. And then some more new celebrations. We got my man, Captain Claude, doing a nice little stick tuck right there after scoring a goal. You know, raising the stick up and then tucking it into his side like a gun. And then at the end of the trailer, we also saw two more celebrations with Ovechkin putting down his stick, and looks like he's feeling off of it like a campfire. And then we also saw, I think, Joe Thornton doing the Nail Yakupov's celebration where he's sliding on his knees and then tumbling onto the ice. So a lot to take in on this trailer, and it's only May, guys. We still have, 4 more months to go here to gather up as much information on NHL 17 as possible. But just from this little 1.5 or 2 minute trailer, got a lot of information in there, which we could really, really make NHL 17 honestly a great game. I really do think it might have the potential. If the gameplay pretty much stays exactly the same and they continue to improve upon these modes, I think this game could actually be one hell of a NHL video game. But let me know what you guys think. What was your most favorite part about this trailer, and what are you most looking forward to seeing in future trailers and in the game as a whole? So let me know, guys. Once again, I'll give you an update on where the hell I've been the past week, hopefully soon. But thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, leave a like, comment, subscribe as always, and I'll see you guys next time.